They're coming for us. Get them. Get them. They're coming in hot.
I got one.
Don't get cocky, kid.
But it's a Pod Bros podcast.
What do you mean it's a podcast? You haven't been shooting? They're all over the place.
Well, no, but they've got all sorts of good shows like Pencil and Ink Reviews and The Guy Huddle and Players vs. Podcasts. I mean, was I supposed to?
Yes. What? How many podcasts do they have?
There's tons. You got other ones like The Accidental Wrestling Fan and Take Aim Outdoors.
That kind of sounds like we should make podcasts, not war.
Aww. What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Shawn.
And we're speaking the language of bromance. Okay, Shawn, we need to have a heart-to-heart. Because there's something going on in my life, and it has me scared. I'm scared.
Is this about the time when we went to... We had that hotel, and I said, hey, I'm going to take
We promised we would never speak of it. It was cold in the room.
And I'm in the shower, and I thought I locked the door.
It was cold in the shower.
But I heard like all this clinking, and when I looked out, you were standing there staring at me like, oh, I didn't know you were in here.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to talk about?
No. Ever. You know what people do when it gets cold in a room? That's their business, okay? And I don't think we need for these people that I'm pointing off to my side that there's nobody there. These people don't need to hear it.
We were in Texas, and it was the middle of the summer. It was hot.
Don't shatter the illusion. I made excuses in my head. Okay, here's my problem. Okay, over the weekend, the past weekend, I was at the mall with my lovely wife and my lovely children. I was at the mall, and we were at the music store. And I say the music store, but let's be honest, the music store really isn't the music store anymore. Like, go in there and try and find a CD.
Like, what music store was this?
It was an FYE.
Do they still have those around?
Yes.
Do they have CDs and stuff there, or are they mostly selling merchandise?
You know, they do, but you have to, like, look for it. You know what I mean? Like, you have to actually, like, walk into the store and kind of, like, dig around and be like, oh, this is where we keep the music on disc.
You ask the 16-year-old kid at the counter, it's like, hey, I need to get a CD of Alice in Chains. Like, what's a CD?
Yeah, they're like, CD, is that, what kind of...
Is that code? Are you hitting on me? Security!
No, it's not new. Not new.
Next, you're going to tell me you want something that you don't want to watch your movies on Netflix. Crazy person.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. We don't even sell... Well, I wouldn't buy shit here.
Nobody buys anything here. They just come around, walk around, and go, huh, funny shirt, and walk out.
Yeah, that is what I do a lot of times. But not this time, Shawn, because this time I had the inkling to try something new. And I saw this box and the picture on the box, and I was like, huh, that's a not bad idea. I was like, I don't know if there's a difference. Maybe I'll try it. Shawn, I bought a record player.
Oh, you bought a record player.
Okay, like I bought a record player, like old school. Now, I will admit, when I was a kid, I did own a record player.
Well, everybody owned record players like in the early 80s.
See, God, now I feel old.
I know my dad had one. I don't think he really used it much because that was about the time where, the CDs players were coming out. You'd spend like $6,000 on a CD player.
Right. Yeah.
And today, nobody spends money on anything like that. But there is a group of people that say music only sounds in its purest form is when you got that, diamond head, whatever you call it, because I'm not hipster enough to know what this is.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
What?
What? You're not what? What was the word? What was the word you said?
Did that hurt a little bit? That hurt a little, Rich? Richard?
Okay, here's the problem.
Hip Rich? Can we call you Hip Rich?
I fucking hate you. So I bought this record player, and actually I didn't. I mean, I bought it for my wife. I was like, hey, look, or she was like, I really kind of want a record player. And I was like, okay, let's. So I was like, we got a little extra cash. I was like, let's buy this fucking record. So we buy the record player, and we get 3 records. Because I don't know if you know this, like, records get kind of pricey.
Yeah.
I would say Price, like buying a record, I'd say is on par with like what CD prices were when you and I were younger.
Because you're looking at like
It's
20 or
about 20. Yeah, it's about 25 bucks.
how much did the skinny jeans cost when you went and bought those afterwards?
You son of a bitch.
No, I bought those for my wife too, Shawn. Come on, man.
Yeah. It's not my fault that they fit me great. Rocking these things. Anyway, I can't sit down, but it's fine. That's why they make microphone stands, right? So that way you don't have to sit down in your skinny jeans.
I haven't seen my balls in a week, Shawn. It's kind of refreshing.
Yeah. My God, I'm a woman. Okay, so I bought this record player, bought 3 records. I bought Fleetwood Mac's Greatest Hits.
Okay, not bad.
I bought Van Morrison's Moon Dance. And I bought Bob Marley and the Wailers. Okay, so I buy these 3 records, and I'm like, let's just start with this, and then just kind of like, see where it goes. Now, in my head, it was kind of just a nostalgia thing. Like, hey, I got records, I'll have a record player, just be, kind of something to throw on every now and again. Okay, get home, I set the record player up. I think the first one I put on was Marley. So I put the record on. I take the needle. I put the needle on the record, and it starts playing. Shawn, this sounds fucking amazing.
So I know I'm not an audiophile, and
I've said this too. I am not an audiophile either. I would not call myself an audiophile. Like I remember when I was like 16, and like all my friends had like these sound systems in their cars. Like they put serious money into like buying these sound systems for their fucking cars with these giant subwoofers and shit like that. And then you go to like where the head unit is for, the radio dial and CD player and everything. And then they had like an EQ underneath it so they could fuck with, each individual signal.
Yeah.
Okay. I never took it that far. Like I have a general understanding of signal equalization, and like I'll take the highs out here, I'll bring up the lows here, and you get your high and low and mid range and whatever. Okay, very rudimentary understanding, but this sounds fucking amazing. It's really good.
So I mean, so back in the day when I worked at a store that sold kind of like headphones and things, I was the kind of guy that would go and buy the $15 headphones, the $15 Sony headphones from Walmart. And somebody would tell me, it's like, listen, dude, you got to get these Bose headphones. I mean, these Bose headphones it's ridiculous how good it sounds. And I'm like, bullshit.
Right.
Bullshit. Years later, when I get to work where I'm at a place where I'm listening to this stuff constantly, I'm like, I'll give it a shot. Let's see what it sounds like. And it's phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
You don't really realize it until you go back to shitty headphones. But, the Bose headphones are like just amazing. Is it on par with that? Like if you listen to
Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, it's kind of like we're from an era where we watch television on like tube on a tube television, and the first time you hear people talk about HD high definition televisions, and you're like, well, I mean, like it's a screen. Like how much better can it be? And then you watch something that you watched when you were a kid on a tube TV, and you see it on an HD TV, and you're like,
how the fuck did we survive?
Right?
It's all like garbly, and it looks like there's like this foam over the screen.
Yeah, and you just imagine yourself like as a kid just like fucking banging rocks together trying to entertain yourself. You're like, I lived in the fucking Stone Age. Yes, I would say it's on par with that, but not in the sense that that it's crisper or specific frequencies or anything like that. It's just you put a record, like I said, I was listening to Bob Marley and the Wailers, and it just sounded warmer. If that is an adequate, if you kind of understand what I'm saying with that.
Okay, yeah, a little bit.
Like it's a bit more full.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sound as the say there's a snare drum, like it doesn't sound it's not as harsh on the ear. Like everything's kind of smoothed over and mellowed out.
And so you haven't like put in new speakers or anything. So if you like just switch to your phone.
No, I just went the record player I had it had its own like built-in speaker.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So this is just going off, like I put the record on and just went off the speaker that's on there. It does have a port that I could, it does have a whole like wires in the back that I can run it to an actual sound system.
And so you haven't tried the different ones to see how it sounds? So I'd be curious to see.
No, I haven't tried to plug it into like, the speakers in my house or whatever. I am kind of curious about that. I might lean in and start doing that next to see if there's a difference.
Yeah, kind of curious, like if the speakers are what's kind of making it, or if it is. I mean, because I know like those record players, you can buy like the diamond tipped. What's the spool thing called that goes against the record?
The needle.
Yeah, the needle. Like you get like diamond tipped ones where like the record play itself is like 10 grand. Like ridiculous money.
God.
Yeah, you look at some of those magazines that sell like all this audio. I mean, if you're a true audiophile, these people who have like 40 and maybe 40 grand's like low, but these 40 grand sound systems in their house just to play music.
That's insane. Doesn't that sound? See, like I hear that and that sounds crazy to me. But I've listened to Bob Marley on vinyl, and I'm like, I could kind of buy it in a way. I could, and just in the sense that and so I went on and started listening to like Fleetwood Mac. Okay, there are Fleetwood Mac songs that I have heard hundreds of times. I mean, hundreds of times, like on the radio. I have it on CD. I have it on on MP3. Like songs that I've heard hundreds of times. I felt like I was listening to it like it was brand new. Like it felt different. And I don't know if it was just a nostalgia factor but I wouldn't, for me, I wouldn't chalk it up to being a nostalgia thing because I didn't own any of these records when I was a kid. This is so sad. When I was a kid, I only owned one record, and my mom bought it for me because I was like 7 years old. I owned one record. You won't even guess what record it is, but I'll let you try.
I think we've talked about this before. It was the Miami Vice one, wasn't it?
No, my parents had that one, but I did listen to it.
I'd have to say Michael Jackson. That's the only other one I can think of.
Close. I mean, yes, but not just. The only record that I owned when I was a child was the single for We Are the World.
Nice.
And my mom bought it for me. She's like, it helps kids in Africa. I'm like, oh, I help kids in Africa. I want Def Leppard.
Dream big, Richard. One day your voice will be heard around the world.
I was mad because I was like, because I was a kid, like I was in the heyday of hair metal, and here's my mother with fucking Lionel Richie and Kenny Rogers.
How many times did you listen to it?
Oh God, constantly, because it was the only thing I had. Any port in a storm, Shawn.
Did you try to make it go fast?
Any port in a storm
to make it as metal as you can? Did you like speed it up?
Like mess with the speeds on it. The one I had when I was a kid didn't have like variable speeds on it. You just put it on, it just went.
Gotcha.
But I had that, and I think I had like some storybooks on record, like where you'd have a book, and then you would put a record on that would like read along with you.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
I think I had like Peter Pan and like a couple other things, like maybe one or two others, where it was just basically somebody reading the story while you were looking at the book.
I know records were kind of having a comeback in the last couple of years. Like bands would release these special actual records.
Yeah, I was looking through the records they had, and like, I mean, not only were there albums that I remember, say, I'm trying to think, like Appetite for Destruction, or stuff like that, but more recent ones. They had that last Foo Fighters album, Sonic Highways. They had a copy of that on vinyl.
Does it matter if they record digitally or with actual tape to make the vinyl sound better? I mean, is it just what the fact that it's pressed in vinyl makes it sound better?
I honestly could not tell you. I really don't know.
Gotcha.
But Cause it's like I felt like somebody just kind of opened the door to this fucking chocolate factory, and now I'm kind of like peeking my head inside, like, what the fuck's going on in here?
It's interesting how, I mean, that was, the first stage of music. And I don't know if maybe because audio is a bit more simple, because, we have more digital stuff now, and people go back to saying, oh, the records are the way to go. If you're a true audiophile, if you really love sound, records are the way to go. When it comes more like visually, it doesn't really matter. It's the TV. Nobody's gonna go back and be like, oh man, you got to go back to VHS if you want the true feel.
Go back and watch shit on VHS. Oh my god, it's so vintage.
Beta tape, yeah, that's the way to see it.
Yeah, right.
You've never seen Showgirls until you've seen it on beta tape.
Beta I heard was actually better. It was just cheaper to make VHS.
Wasn't it that porn went to VHS too? I always heard that rumor.
Porn, yeah, that was one of the other big windfalls is porn went to VHS. Porn was also the first to go to Blu-ray, so there is that.
Well, I think Blu-ray being in the PS3 really helped them too.
Yeah. Well, no, because at the time, or no, wait, because Sony went with Blu-ray in the PlayStation 3, and then the Xbox 360. I think it had like an add-on HD DVD drive.
Yeah,
that you could get.
You had to buy the drive extra for like $100.
Yeah,
but I mean that's killer. It's like you go and it's like, okay, both systems cost $300.
Yeah,
this one plays Blu-ray, this one doesn't. I mean, I doubt that's the only factor, but I guarantee that helped out a lot.
Yeah, and porn helps everything.
Yeah, it does. So you got your record player, you got your skinny jeans. I mean, are you...
Stop it with the skinny jeans. No, see, you're touching a nerve, okay? Because here's now we're coming to the dilemma of the matter, okay? So I bought this record player for Amanda, and she was listening to the records, and I was listening to them, and I really, really like them, like a lot more than I'm wondering if I should, and I'm afraid that I'm a hipster and I don't know it.
Well, what organic coffee were you drinking at this point? Like what espresso?
I was okay. Stop it. It's okay. Is it just okay? So I need you to talk me through this. So is listening to something on vinyl and being like, oh my god, this is almost like the first time I've ever heard it. Is that a hipster thing? And do I need to start worrying about other things?
Well, did you get so I know you said you got the skinny jeans. Did you pick up those rim glasses too you were talking about? You kept texting me about some new glasses you're getting. I thought you had perfect vision, so I was kind of confused by that too.
I do. I was wearing them. I want to wear them ironically.
I mean, I think it's just like anything. As long as you're saying like, yes, I think this sounds a lot more amazing. Like this sounds perfect to me. That's perfect. And it's with anything, if you get...
Well, see, I'm not sure. I mean, like I wouldn't say perfect. Like to me, if you're saying it sounds perfect, like I don't know what perfect would be, but I will say that listening to the song Don't Stop on that record player compared to the other 100 times that I've heard it on the radio, on my computer, on a CD player, it's different. It is different. And I didn't think that I would notice a difference, but I do.
Well, I think it's just like with anything. I can appreciate you be like, it sounds better to me. I don't know what it is. I don't understand it, but it sounds better to me. I think you reach hipster level when you start saying like, listen, if you don't listen to it this way, then you basically might as well listen to it at all because you're missing it all. You just don't understand. You're not intelligent enough to understand.
Right. So you're saying that the hipster bit comes in when condescension works its way in. So when I say to people like, hey, I listened to this and I really liked it, you might like it too. But the other way to go with that would be, oh, if you've never heard it like this, then you've never really heard it.
Yeah, if I come up to you and be like, oh my God, Richard, did you just hear that new Foo Fighters song? You're like, oh yeah, I just got the record. I played it like all night last night. And I'm like, oh yeah, I just bought it on iTunes. It's so great. And you're like, what? Wait, what? iTunes? Did you listen to that on your phone? You might as well just jerked off in a bag because you didn't listen to it. I'm confused. I'm like, why would you jerk off in a bag? Like, oh my God, you don't even understand that reference. I can't talk to you. You put your glasses on, I'm like, and walk away. I'm like, did he put glasses on? And why is he wearing skinny jeans?
This man, I don't think he even likes glasses. I've lost my friend.
Don't speak. I know that's what you're saying. It's like, yeah, I got that on record too. Gwen Stefani, no doubt. Yeah.
Aw. Okay, so I figured out a way to definitively decide whether or not I am. And I'll do it the way I validate myself through anything. I'm going to the internet.
Okay.
So what I've done is I found this site called quizrocket.com and there's a quiz that says, "Are you a hipster?" So we're going to go through these questions together and I'll answer them and you answer them and then we'll see how this goes.
Okay. Do we want to say it out loud so you'll keep track, or do I need to keep track?
I'll keep track.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'll keep track.
All right. Let's do
Okay,
this.
so
Are you a hipster?
yes. Question number 1. What kind of jeans do you prefer? Loose baggy jeans that are scuffed on the floor, high-waisted light wash jeans that need a belt, tight skinny jeans that end at the ankle, distressed comfy jeans found at a thrift store.
I probably have to go with the baggy jeans, the first one.
You go with the first one?
But I wear a belt. Like, I don't let my jeans hang down. So maybe, is it the second one? But that said something about whitewash.
Probably, yeah. You're probably. I'd probably go with the second one for you.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to go with the distressed comfy jeans found at a thrift store.
Okay.
I'm cheap. Okay. Well, question number 2 is pretty easy for you. What kind of cigarettes do you smoke? Marlboro Lights, Dejarum Blacks, Lucky Strikes, or I don't smoke. You don't smoke.
I don't smoke.
I don't smoke either of those 3. If I had to pick one, I don't like lights. If I had to pick between those 3, I would have to go with Lucky Strikes.
Okay. That brings up another thing. Are we going to get you to quit smoking anytime?
No.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to smoking, here's the thing. Yes, I am addicted, and I totally admit that, completely 100% admit that I am addicted. I have an addiction to nicotine. But for me, it's more than that, okay? I love to smoke. I just like the act of smoking. I like sitting in a chair. I like having a cigarette. I like having a cigarette after a meal. I like having a cigarette after sex. I just like to smoke. I find it enjoyable. I like drawing it in, the little light on the end. You puff out and the smoke kind of curls and swirls around you. You can blow little smoke rings. Like I picture myself like Humphrey Bogart in a sense. I know I'm nowhere near Humphrey Bogart. Yes, I know.
Richard, that's how the tobacco companies get you. Is they make you feel like Humphrey Bogart by smoking.
Well, you know what? They got me. Because like I said, and the thing is I think if I was just addicted to nicotine, if it was just, I smoke because I'm addicted, I think that I could get past that. I think that I could, just, set them down and, or chew some gum and, gradually step away from cigarettes. I really do. I really think that, if it was just that I was addicted to nicotine, it would be easy for me to quit. But I just enjoy the act of doing it.
Okay.
And it's probably ingrained into me from when I was a teen or preteen, but it makes me look cooler. It makes me look cool. I don't care. James Dean didn't have licorice in his mouth, okay? That's all I'm saying. All right. Question number 3. How would you or did you financially support yourself after college? College or coffee barista, lived off my parents' money / trust fund, got a 9-to-5 job, or a record store clerk?
C. Yeah, got a 9-to-5.
Yeah, you got a 9-to-5.
Working 9
I actually didn't get a 9-to-5. I maintained the same 9-to-5. Okay. Question number 4. How do you prefer to get around? A Prius, a Hummer?
Oh, yeah. I love getting around when I get a Hummer.
Walking or a fixie? What is a fixie? I think I'm glad I don't know what that is. If I had the choice between those four, I'm going with Hummer.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Oh, a
Yeah.
fixie is a bike.
Oh, okay. So a Prius, a Hummer, walking, or a bike.
Yeah, I'd probably have to say a Hummer.
Okay. I don't know, Shawn. You're big on biking.
Yeah, we know that for sure, don't we?
You've been biking. You've biked more than I have in the last year.
And I've loved every minute of it. I've loved every minute of it, honey.
Oh, that's adorable. the things we do for women. Okay. Question number 5. Which of these would you bring to a party? Corona, Pabst Blue Ribbon, or as we like to call it in the Midwest, PBR, Olympia, or Smirnoff Ice?
Probably Corona if I had to choose of the four.
I see. It would depend on the person for me. I think if I like the person, I'd probably bring Corona. Or if I had to share, but if I had to share, like if I'm bringing something for myself, I bring Corona. If it's something that it's like I'm putting for the community, because like I said, I'm cheap, I would bring the Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah, I'm reading this is what you would bring though. What you're sitting in the corner drinking, what you would drink.
Yeah, I go with the Corona. Okay, question number 6. Your friend is looking for new music to listen to. You direct them to the radio, TV commercials featuring music from unknown bands, your last.fm page, or your favorite indie music blog.
Oh God. I don't listen to the radio. Probably the Last FM, but I don't listen to Last FM.
Yeah, I don't either, but I think,
that's the most
I think
internet-based one, because I'd probably direct you to Spotify.
Yeah, you got me hooked on. This is okay for everybody. This is the guy that got me hooked on Spotify, and this was
it's like 09.
Like what? Oh yeah, it was a while ago. You were like, "Hey, they got this new thing, Spotify." Like I had never heard about it.
Dude hooked me up with work. He's like, "Yeah, I spend the $10 a month. I get all this for free and can listen to it on my phone." I'm like, ever since then, I'm a paid subscriber.
Yeah,
because at that time I was spending like $20 a month on music. I'd be like, "Oh, hey, I wonder what this sounds like." Download from iTunes.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, when I was a kid and I had like a little bullshit job, like I was buying I would usually spend $60 on music every 2 weeks.
I never told you about this, but so my mom every 2 weeks would give me $20, right? She's like, "You can use this. It's your money. You can use it for your lunch money. You can use it for whatever you want, but here's $20. I would save that money. I wouldn't eat lunch. I would not eat lunch at school, Richard. And I would use that money to buy a CD every 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too bad you wasted it all on Papa Roach.
But... Oh, yeah. And I starved myself, to death. But, whatever.
You starved yourself for Papa Roach.
I did buy that Infest CD like 4 times.
That is a tragedy unto itself. Okay. Question number 7. Hipsters balk at society's definition of gender roles and sometimes go for the androgynous look. What do you resemble? So basically, what of these statements fits you? I'm a man and I have the mutton chops to prove it. I'm a man, don't let this pink shirt fool you. I'm a woman, so what if I don't shave my armpits? Or I'm a woman, just look at these layered bangs.
Probably D.
I think for you, I'd have to go with I'm a man, don't let this pink shirt fool you.
Okay. Well, that gives me more credit than I was going to give myself. I was going to say I'm D. Look at
my bangs.
I guess you would probably be A, even though you're not very like the male aggressive guy, but you wouldn't be caught dead in a pink shirt, I don't think. All
right. Question number 8. God, how many questions are there? Oh, I don't know. I really don't know how many questions there are.
Question number 732.
Okay. Which of these best describes your glasses? Aviator shades, horn-rimmed, and I don't need them, horned rim, and I need them, or I don't really wear glasses?
D. I don't really wear glasses.
I don't think you do. Everybody tells me I should, but fuck them. What do they know?
I would hit them, but I can't see them.
Come here! I'm right next to you. Oh, I can hear your voice. Question 9. When posing for pictures, you tend to stare blankly into the camera, smile, look up and away from the camera coyly because you're shy. Flash a gang sign, bonus points for the blood sign.
That's it. That's the
You look
options.
you're shy. You
Yeah.
look up and coyly away. Oh, stop it. I'm so not photogenic.
Oh, I'm not ready for this. Duck face.
Okay, question number 10. You have or had a site hosted by which of the following? GeoCities, Tumblr, WordPress, Blogger, or I don't have a site?
I had A and B or A and C.
You had a GeoCities page?
Yeah, back in the day I did.
Really?
Yeah.
What was on it?
So long time ago, I was really big into wrestling.
Okay.
And I don't know if you ever did any of these, but they had like these role-playing wrestling games. So essentially
I vaguely remember.
they had like these forums, and you would do like promo spots. You would type out these promo spots, and then somebody would type out this elaborate, like, this is what happened on the Monday Night Raw or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I tried to create one of those.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What was your wrestler?
Well, whenever I did it, so if I did a few of these, but the ones I did that were like you had to pick a real wrestler. I did what was his name? Badass Billy Gunn. Do you remember who he was?
Yes. Yeah.
And so like I had his whole gimmick of like he would run like the badass store, and he'd like, I'm gonna give you, I can't remember what his finisher move was, but he's like, I'm gonna give you this. It costs $4.69, and I'll give you a 69-cent whatever his other move was. So I do like the whole promo with that.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, 12-year-old Sean's like, I want a $4.69. I don't know what it means.
And then you were like,
Yeah.
69.
Mom sees us like, do you know what 69 means? Sex. Yeah, something like that.
Hey everyone, this is Tom from the Say What Podcast, and I would love it if you'd swing over to saywhatpodcast.com to check us out as soon as you're done listening to this show. We handpick real news articles to poke fun at every week, like a lady from Florida attacking her boyfriend with a ceramic squirrel, or kids rubbing chapstick in their eyes to get high, or the guy who got arrested for repeatedly having sex with an inflatable pool shark. Yeah, I think you get the point. So tune into the Say What Podcast every Friday on iTunes, Stitcher, and at saywhatpodcast.com.
Okay, question number 11. You would most likely buy your clothes at which of these stores? American Apparel, Nordstrom's, Urban Outfitters, or thrift stores?
Maybe the first one. I don't know. I don't really shop at any of those places.
American Apparel?
I guess, maybe.
Okay. All right.
Are you saying thrift store again on yours from the last one?
Me's thrift store. Let's see. Question number 12. How would you describe your sense of humor? Goofy, ironic, or punny?
I'm probably punny.
Yeah, I would say punny. I actually read something that apparently there's a bit in your brain, or there's a brain.
My brain has a lot of bits.
There's a condition in your brain that causes people to come up with puns and find jokes for inappropriate situations, or come up with inappropriate jokes for given situations.
Oh, interesting.
And it had some German term with it. I really couldn't remember what it be.
So you're saying our German pun area in our brains like really, really big?
Yeah. I'd like to think that we have large medulla oblongata. That's Latin.
For
Maybe
oblongata?
oblongata. I oblongata do this.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong.
Question number 13. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Given of the choices: Miami, Florida; Portland, Oregon; Williamsburg, Brooklyn, New York; or the Mission District in San Francisco, California.
Probably none of those places, but I mean, I'd probably have to say Portland for me.
Oh, see, I was kind of torn between Portland and the Mission District. I'm gonna say Portland. That's the hipster capital of the world.
Oh
Shawn.
God. Well, I thought Miami, but Miami would just get. Oh my goodness.
Oh God, wouldn't that just be terrible?
Yeah.
Like there'd just be like suntan lotion and dudes with like big buff dudes.
Yeah. Oh man, chicks walking around with thongs. Yeah. I think and when you move to Miami, don't they give you like a pound of cocaine? Like that's your like moving in gift.
Yeah, it's like a housewarming
Yeah.
present.
It's like here.
Like the neighbors come by with a kilo
and they
and
poke
a
you.
small Cuban person.
Small Cuban person.
This is your new roommate. His name is Pedro.
Or Juan, or
And-
whatever you want to call him. He doesn't speak English.
Yeah, whatever you want to call him. It's not like it's on paper.
When they give you that kilo, they always do the stupid joke of don't snort it all at once. Go ahead and do it. We do it all the time. We're addicted.
Whatever. It's
I'm
fine.
high right now.
This is Miami. Who gives a shit?
Nobody ODs on cocaine.
Everything I know about Miami, I learned from Miami Vice and Bad Boys.
What about Scarface?
Oh, yeah, Scarface. So there's that. All right, question 14. What kind of tattoo do you have or want to get? Something big and elaborate, like a chest tattoo or sleeves, my favorite song lyrics, a cartoon from my childhood, something small and subtle, or I don't want a tattoo.
I'd probably have to go with A, but I definitely want B in my sleeve and then also the cartoon character in my sleeve.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably have to agree with that.
I always thought a great idea would be like you have a on one arm you have kind of like the past, and on the other arm is like your future. Always thought that'd be a cool idea for a sleeve.
Yeah. All my tattoo. I have 3. All 3 of mine are
Odes to me.
Celtic, not work. Odes to the what?
I said
Finish the joke.
no. You said all your tattoos on you. I said they're odes to me.
Yeah, that's what they are. I mean, that's the hidden meaning. I didn't want to share, but oh God. Okay. It's 20 question quiz, so we're winding it down here. Okay, question number 15. What do you think of monogamy and commitment?
Babe, you need to leave the room.
There are strong foundations for a lasting marriage. They are unnecessary social constructs. I'm okay with monogamy and commitment, but not marriage. I'll have to go with A, of course.
Yeah, I'd probably be the same way. Although I do kind of feel
they are strong foundations for a lasting marriage.
I do feel like it is kind of a social thing, but I mean, I'm definitely the kind of person that even if it wasn't, I would just have one person. I mean, like you don't see.
I can't hear you. I'm too busy picking A.
Well, I was just gonna say it's kind of like with me and like our podcast. Like I only podcast with one person. I never go outside our relationship.
You're a liar. You're a liar and a cheat.
I asked you for permission first, and you said it was fine.
I did. But you know what? I said it was fine. But you know what? That was a test. You know why? Because it's not fine.
It was a test, and you failed. Hey, everybody.
You failed.
Make sure to check me out on the Turtle Power Pod and the Gentleman's Inquiry.
Son of a bitch. I've left my microphone under the doormat.
Well, if you could satisfy my need of turtles talk, we wouldn't have this problem.
Well, maybe if you stop talking, maybe if you quit talking about turtles for 5 seconds and worry about my needs,
It's funny.
then maybe I'd be a bit more inclined. Okay, you gotta give a little to get a little. You know what? What we're not doing. Okay, you know what? We're not doing this right now. All right, we're on microphones and we're talking to people, so we're not doing this right now. And I swear to God, I want an inside voice in this motherfucker.
When we get off this show, Shawn, we're gonna have a talk. We're gonna have a talk, Shawn.
We're gonna have a talk. Yeah, it's coming. So you need to fucking figure some shit out. Question 16. Which of these shoes would you most likely be wearing?
Oh goodness.
Nike, Vans, Converse, or high tops?
Nikes probably.
I don't know what I'd pick. Because I don't wear any of these. I usually wear boots.
Probably high tops then,
Not
maybe.
like cowboy boots. Not like cowboy boots. Like I found these like work shoes that are fairly comfortable. They look like shoes, but they're like steel-toed and waterproof and fairly cheap. Okay. Question 17. Which of these activities would you most likely suggest for a date? Attend an indie rock show, see a blockbuster movie, go bowling, or go for a bike ride?
And between A and B for me,
Yeah. I could see you going for A more than B.
the indie rock show.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, probably. If there's one playing, yeah, I'd say that one.
Right on. Yeah, I probably would too. I think, yeah, between the 4, I'd have to go with the indie rock show. Okay, question 18. Would you call yourself a hipster? No way, only ironically, or nobody wants to be called a hipster, but they definitely are.
Probably A, I guess, for me.
Yeah, me too. I'm saying no way. It's just that, like, I mean, it's like you said, like, they just seem to have that label. It just seems so douchey.
Yeah. Well, it all goes to like
that's the stigma that goes with it. But at the same time, there's part of me that's like, why is it bad that I'm afraid of being labeled?
maybe,
You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah. So you're probably more of the C. Like you're. Well, I guess is there a hipster? You're really a hipster deep down, but you're just scared to admit it. Is that what it is?
Yeah, possibly.
You're a closet hipster.
Right. This is my coming out party. All right. Question 19. Which of these would most likely adorn your head? A slouchy knit cap, a fedora, a baseball cap, or a trucker hat?
Baseball cap for me, definitely. Yeah,
Baseball cap for you.
Even though I don't really wear
For
hats.
me, I own a knit cap. I'm kind of torn between the knit cap and the fedora because I own both.
But you wear ball caps a lot, don't you?
No, not really. Lately, it's been either the knit cap or not really the fedora. I'd have to go with the knit cap. Okay, and the last question is simply your birth date, so I'll put that in.
Survey says.
Continue. And load the page. Oh, it's generating results. Oh, this is like a thing. There's like a progress bar. And oh, Shawn, you were not a hipster.
Yes! Woo! What am I?
It just says not a hipster. It says you are not a hipster, and that is A-okay with you.
Yeah.
Sure, you may appreciate a good pair of skinny jeans or a knit cap on a chilly day, but overall, you like being part of mainstream society and don't appreciate these stupid hipsters judging you for it. So that's what you got. I am also not a hipster.
Ooh. Yeah,
That was close.
You seemed a bit nervous about that.
That was close. I was a little bit. I'm like right on the cusp because I think that I had more answers than you that were leaning that way, but ultimately pulled it out in the end.
So between the two of us, you're more of a hipster than I am, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's I will freely admit.
Yeah.
I think that's true. I'm sitting here talking to you about records. The knit cap thing, I mean, that didn't really raise a flag for me, but now that it mentioned that it does. I do enjoy a coffee shop occasionally.
Oh, I do too, though. I mean, there's nothing you don't.
You do it to get your writing done.
It's true. If there was a question for that might have pushed me over the hump. Where do you work?
Push you over the threshold.
Yeah, what do you do at a coffee shop? Do you A, drink coffee? Do you B, write your great novel? I do B.
What are you doing? Getting some writing done?
It's my next great screenplay. You want to hear it? You want to know what it's called? It's called Love Comes First.
All I have to do is secure the rights from Coldplay, and I've totally got it. Fingers crossed. All right. Whew. Okay, so that's done. Neither one of us are hipsters, and I know you weren't really worried, but I feel kind of good about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people that I would actually consider, and I don't have any problem with hipsters. I mean, it really all goes to the fact that the thing that annoys me about people like that is the ones who downplay whatever you do that they don't think is like when we go back to the idea of the record player, if you don't listen to something on a record player, you're really not listening to anything. It's like you might as well jerk off into a bag. That's the kind of mindset that
Yeah.
I've never understood.
You keep going back to this jerking off into a bag. Is that bad? Like, is that something you
If
shouldn't
it's a paper
do?
bag, probably not.
Well, fair enough. Because honestly, like now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that doesn't actually sound like a bad idea. Because then, like, there's no cleanup.
Yeah, you just zip it up, throw it away, you're done.
Yeah. That's $1 million idea right there. That I think that's a market that's being extremely underserved.
So instead of they have those one wipe Charlies. You create like
Right?
a 4 jerk Charlie.
Honestly, like think about it. Like we've been doing it into socks and basically whatever was handy for years.
Yeah, you just put a little lube on the inside and you do your business and zip it up, throw it away, and you're all good.
Is this too much of a peek behind the curtain when we're actually like talking about our habits?
Probably. But we're almost at 100 episodes, man. If they don't know what we do, behind the curtain already, then they might as well start learning.
Yeah. 2 words, Dutch rudder. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, what? We weren't going to talk about that.
All right, 3 words, double Dutch rudder. Wait, damn it, that's worse. Urban Dictionary, kids, look it up.
I don't even remember that guy's name. Do you?
No, what was he even Dutch? I think we got taken.
I think he was from Florida. I think that's what he said.
Kept tweaking his nose, so he must have been.
So I guess we've just found out that neither one of us are
hipsters.
You've got a brand new record player.
I do. That's been going on with me. See, I felt like we've taken up this whole time. What's been going on with you? Is there anything that's bothering you? Are there any dilemmas that you need help solving? Because that's what I'm here for. That's what these people are here for. Shawn, we're here for you.
I know we kind of talked about it a little bit. I mean, we kind of cut it to a little bit long, but you've seen some of The Walking Dead, but you haven't seen a ton of it, right?
Yes, I am. At this point, I am a season and a half behind, which I'm honestly okay with. It's okay. I'm not one of those crazy like, oh my god, spoiler people. Like, don't oh no, what are you talking about? La 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 la. Like if I'm going to go home and watch something and somebody's talking about it, I'll walk away from, but I'm not gonna like punch them in the face about it. But in this instance, it's fine.
And you've read the comics, right? Like you're pretty decently caught up, or how far did you get in the comics?
Yeah, I'd say as far as I can remember, I think I'm decently caught up on the comics.
Gotcha. So they had the season finale about 3 weeks ago, and they introduced the Negan character, which is an awesome character in the comic, right?
Yeah. It was like the governor and the Negan. I think that's how. Yeah.
Because Negan is basically like the governor's crazy. Like the governor's a sociopath, and Negan's more of he does things because he thinks it's the right way to do it. He's not really like crazy. He just has a rule by fear kind of notion.
Yeah.
And kind of spoilers, if you haven't seen the Walking Dead finale, and I don't know why you haven't, because I think everybody's seen it pretty much, but kind of spoilers going forward. But
yeah. And also, I will say, it seems like Walking Dead, that's one thing where like people don't want, like, don't, I haven't seen it, la la la. Seems like that's one of those shows that people kind of get like really piffy about.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm not really going to spoil anything. And that's what's kind of annoying about it. So they've been building this whole season about like, oh, there's these saviors. Here comes Negan. Negan kills somebody. Negan's going to kill somebody. He's a bad dude. He's going to kill somebody. So this last episode, you get the sense of that because they're driving around trying to get somebody to a different community that's got a doctor. And every road they take, there's a blockade of these saviors.
Uh-huh.
And so, they drive a little bit. It's like, oh, more people. They drive a little bit. Oh, there's even more people down this way. Let's go this route. Oh, there's like 40 guys here. Like, oh shit, these guys are a lot bigger than what we thought. So they get this idea of like, okay, well, let's just keep driving this RV. Everybody else will leave and we'll walk, because they're not expecting us to get out and walk, right? They're expecting us to be in this RV.
Right. That makes perfect sense.
So like up to this point, it's like kind of long, but at this point, they're walking through the woods, and all of a sudden you start hearing all this whistling coming from all over the woods, right? So it's like, oh shit, like they know we're out here.
It's about to go down.
Yeah. So they get out into the open. There's like a blockade of people again. They're kind of in this like circle. It's pitch black. And they take all their weapons. They make them all kneel, and then all of a sudden Negan comes out, and it's just like the comic. He goes through a spiel. He does a great job. He has Lucille, the barbed wire wrapped bat.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, all right, you killed a lot of my people, like more than I'm comfortable with. So I'm kind of pissed off about this. And I'm literally sitting here, Richard, with a pillow watching this because I'm like, I know what's going to happen. I've read the comic. Like,
you're like hugging the pillow.
Yeah, exactly. I'm focused. You got that like creepy sadistic smile because you're like, oh God, I've been waiting all season for this. Once they
just like when you were a kid, you're talking to the pillow. Sandra, what's gonna happen?
Yeah. I mean, I've been expecting this all season, right?
Yeah.
So he gets them all lined up. He starts walking up and down the line. He's like, I got to kill one of you. It's what's got to happen. I got to basically kill one of you. And he does just like in the comic. He starts doing his eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And they go to this like weird shot where you can't really tell where he is.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden he's like, all right. And you see like POV shot from somebody looking up at him. He's like, all right, if the kid moves or if anybody moves, cut the kid's other eye out and feed it to his dad. So that's the only indication you have that it's not Rick or Carl.
Right.
And all of a sudden he just starts hitting the camera with a bat. You see blood trickling down the camera.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, okay, who is it? Who is it? And he starts talking a little bit more and just starts beating him with it. Cuts to black, keeps beating, keeps beating, keeps beating. I'm like, all right, who is it? Who is it? Credits.
Oh.
Hey, everybody, guess what? Guess what? Who shot JR? Yeah, who shot JR? Let's do this. Yeah, because we're a soap opera. Yeah. So they pulled a cliffhanger on us.
Yeah. I kind of a big one.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's not Rick or Carl. So there's that.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you know, really.
I think it's safe to assume that it's not Norman Reedus' character.
That's my guess too.
I think he's safe because he's kind of the fan favorite.
Yeah. Well, what annoyed me about this is like you've had this huge anticipation. I mean, how are you going to recreate that after 6 months? And first off, how are you not going to let this leak out who it actually is for 6 months? They're going to be filming in a month. And what's really going to be annoying is like if we come back to this and it's a minor character that got killed, somebody
not even
that's
that.
not,
like for the next like 6 months, it's going to be nothing but like these fucking clickbait articles. Be like, oh, did you see who was on the set of The Walking Dead? Click here to find out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's already started. There's already a supposedly leaked audio that was cut from the end of it where you hear all these people kind of screaming. And I mean, oh God. Like, okay, spoilers for the comic, spoilers for the show. So you have the iconic scene from the comic where Glenn gets killed, right?
Right.
He's getting beat, and like as he's getting beat, he has like one last thought where he looks at his pregnant wife Maggie and goes like, Maggie. It's like it's so heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
And they completely avoid anything with that. And the shitty thing I think that they did is like, oh well, it's how'd they put it? They said that this is the end of the story. It's not who gets killed that's important. This is the end of that story. Who gets killed and how they react, that's the next story. And I didn't really think about it. And I hate whenever you think about things in this kind of mindset because you're thinking of it more of the executives and it's more of the business part of it that's making this decision, not the storytelling.
Right. Right.
So as I'm sitting there,
you feel like the way that the story is being, dripped out is more of a business decision than an actual story decision.
Yeah. And it didn't really trigger with me because it sounds like none of the actors or anything knows who actually got killed unless they've just recently got the scripts. But as we're sitting there, I usually watch this with Tiffany's mom and dad because she doesn't like the show. And her dad's like, I bet that they don't tell you who it is because they don't know yet. Because I bet there's a couple contracts coming due.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. And doesn't that, see, that, I'm sure that probably pisses you off too. Because then it's, then the story is being altered in a way because of, say some actors holding out, like, hey, pay me more money.
Oh, Norman, you want $2 million an episode? Well, guess what? These other 4 are just going to take $1 million. So, guess who met Lucille at the end of last season's episode?
Yeah.
It was you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And I've heard some rumors about AMC being kind of cheap when it comes to that show, more so in the early stages. So you have that on top of, this being the approach they take to make it a cliffhanger. And I thought like JR, the Who Shot JR thing kind of poked in my head, but I didn't really want to say it because I didn't really want it to be like truthful.
Right.
And as I was sitting talking to some lady, she's like, "Oh, I didn't mind it. I love I don't mind cliffhangers. We've seen cliffhangers for years." She's like, "It's just like Who Shot JR." I'm like, "God damn it!"
And then you're like, "Son of a bitch!"
Yeah, like this isn't fucking Dallas. This isn't a soap opera. It shouldn't be a soap opera.
I mean, isn't it though?
It's, the comic's not.
No, the comic isn't. The comic, I would say that the comic has more action in it than the fucking show.
But, I think that's what I say frustrated. I think that's what more annoyed me because, you have that very iconic scene at, issue 100. And I'm playing this out in my head. It's like, and the whole, this is the end of this story. Who dies and how they react is the part of the next story. It's like, no. Because the guy who plays Rick, Andrew Lincoln, throughout this whole season, he's kind of been like, I'm badass mode. He's going around killing all these saviors because he doesn't realize how big they are.
Right.
But the moment, you see it progressively through the episode, it's like, okay, here's a blockade of 6 people. He walks out all badass, like, all right, let's make a deal. Like, we don't make deals. He's like, all right, well, fuck you guys. We're leaving. And he says something to the point of like, you guys better live like it's your last day on Earth. And the dude that's part of the Saviors at this point, because this is the first blockade they've run into. And he comes back with, he's like, that's a good point. Look at all those guys in your RV right now. It could be one of their last days on Earth. You might want to be a little nicer to them. And Rick kind of has like a, And he kind of, still has this cockiness. He's like, you do the same. He's like, I've got this under control.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Saviors. It's a dumb name. You're stupid.
Then he runs into like a group of 15, which is double what they have. He's like, shit. And somebody points out the obvious, like, that's not the same group we just ran into. He's like, yeah, I know. Then he runs into like 30 of them. Same thing, new people. He's like, you just quickly see like his face just fall like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, that moment he is gone, is like, realize that he's way over his head.
Yeah, he's gone from 100 to 0.
And, we get the plot point of like, oh, we'll go, we've outsmarted them, right? We're going to leave the RV. Somebody else is going to drive it and we'll walk there. But then his face, like it looks like a dude that just got pissing his pants.
Yeah.
He's got wide, like he did a great job, but nobody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about the fact that they didn't show what happened.
So you're saying that because of the cliffhanger, the way it ended, you're saying that kind of took away from, they ended the show on this pivotal point that it kind of took away from the rest of the episode.
Yeah, I mean, you really lost the, because like to me, I think seeing who it is, and ideally, because I like the comic, like I think it should be Glenn, because that pushes Maggie's character into a whole new arc. Like it really gives her a reason to, because she's pregnant, and now her husband's dead.
Yeah,
and that scene where he's like he's getting beat, and she yells her Glenn, like that's emotional, and you don't even end on that because everybody's like on this emotional high of like, oh my god, Glenn just died. What the fuck?
Yeah,
and you have the Negan character talk to Rick, saying basically like, listen, everything you thought, like how this was supposed to be, is wrong. Like this is a brand new world for you. And the way the Negan character works is as he turns around and is walking away with his bloody bat, he just finishes like, yeah, go ahead and enjoy the rest of your trip, guys, and just leaves. Because that's who Negan is. Like, he isn't killing this guy because he wants to. He's killing it to set a point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's been on my mind for the last couple weeks since that episode aired.
So you're not really upset that it got left on a cliffhanger because you're like, why did they end it like that? Like, I want to know. You have actual issues with just the fact that they ended it on a cliffhanger.
Well, the fact that it's not even it's if it was a
That
cliffhanger
it's not
would be
it's not servicing the show by doing. It's a disservice to the show by finishing this season that way.
I think so, because I don't agree with that the story ends with them getting there and somebody, getting beat. Like, that's not the end of the story.
Uh-huh.
That's 2 minutes short of the story ending. I agree that how they react is the next story, but you pick that up with them sitting there as all the saviors leave. You have whoever was killed sitting there, dead.
Yeah.
That's the start of that story, because that's the oh fuck, what did we get ourselves into moment.
Yeah.
Because right now we're still 2 minutes short of that. We still don't know what the reaction is to who died and why. We don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, okay. Okay. That makes sense. I understand that. So you're saying that, they could have ended it with seeing who died, and so then the whole next season of it could be them realizing, holy fuck, what we get into, and maybe even some of the other members in the group having a sort of resentment towards Rick, like, hey, you were trying to be Barney Badass and look what the fuck happened. Like,
Yeah,
how do you
I'd
feel
agree
now,
with that.
Barney Badass?
You got somebody killed. And the other thing that keeps in my mind, because they do this a lot, episode 1 of next year, like, we probably won't find out till like 45 minutes into the episode.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Drag that shit out as long as they can.
Yeah.
And what's real, oh my God, this is going to be so annoying. Let's say that they open it up with that scene and it's not a pivotal character. It's not Glenn, it's not Maggie, it's not, somebody that actually is someone you're super invested in.
Yeah, all of a sudden, like, you just don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, okay, it was so-and-so. All right, well, sucks for them, I guess, but, whatever.
Let's move on.
Yeah. But that's my 15-minute rant on the Walking Dead episode. And a lot of people are pissed about it. Like, nobody's really happy.
I have seen some vitriol about it over the internet. So
let's see. So yeah, so it's, they kind of ended it shitty, I guess, but the thing you see too with that is a lot of people, you see that it's, I would probably say it's like 80-90% people are upset with it. But you have that 10%. It's like, oh well, cliffhangers. That's I didn't want to know.
that's what happens. That's what television does.
Yeah, and it's like, no, that's a gimmick. Cliffhangers are gimmicks.
Yes, they are.
I heard somebody say, I can't remember who it was, but they said like, what would have made more sense is because and it's such a blue ball scenario because they've been telling us all year, like all season, like, hey, this Negan character's coming.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill somebody. And if they would have like not said any of that, it's like 2 minutes. You end that episode 2 minutes earlier or 2 minutes later, I think you get more fulfilled. Like, you don't know the fact that he's gonna kill somebody. And then that's where you cut it. Instead of cutting it as he's killing someone and you don't know who it is.
Right. Yeah, I get it. That.
But I mean, you have those 10% people who are totally behind it. They're in the minority, so they're the hipsters right now of this Walking Dead controversy.
Well, you know what, Shawn. I understand what you're going through, and I understand that you're angry. But you know what? It's gonna be okay because that 2 or 3 episodes into the next season, then all that will have passed and you can go on with your life.
And then they'll start hinting at who it was, and by the mid-season finale they'll show maybe the head of who got hit, so you kind of can assume who it was. TV, I tell you. Well, I guess so. We've got a little bit of Walking Dead, but we got a majority of Hipster Nation in this.
We both well, I think the thing here is that we both had our issues. But I think that we've helped work I think we by talking them out, I think that we've helped work through some of those. And that's good. It's good to help one another. Because, we're not all fucking, it's not all crazy emus and panda bears here.
Sometimes we have issues, people. We need to talk them out.
Sometimes there are things that we are dealing with, and I think that we're human, and it's only human for us to address them.
Are you wanting to use that as your Richard's closing thoughts?
Yes, that is my closing thought.
All right, well, I'll do a little bit of housekeeping. Go to our website. We're at languageofbromance.com. Follow us on Twitter. We're at languageofbro. Email us at eatthebeaver@languageofbromance.com. Like us on Facebook and check us out on the Pocket Cast. It's an iOS, Android, Windows phone app. And subscribe and leave a review on iTunes and Stitcher.
And don't forget to check us out on the Pod Bros Network.
The best podcast site on the internet.
For people of all walks of life.
And for the need for some head buzz that you can listen to, your awesome record player, go to tweakedaudio.com. Use the promo code LOBARMY. Get 33% off.
Oh God, I bet they sound amazing on those.
Oh, I bet they do. Yeah.
Oh, see, now I gotta plug that into the record player, jam out.
All right. Was there anything else before I close her out?
No, let's finish this up. I got stuff to listen to.
All right. Well, that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Richard.
And I say we eat the beaver.
I'm gonna go listen to records now. I mean,
all right,
you can listen to them on your MP3 player.
Can I bring my read along record and I can read my Berenstain Bears book?
You know what? Fuck you. That's mean. You know what? Daryl died. That's who died. I know, and it's Daryl.
I'm rioting. That's what I'm rioting.